Hello world, I'm Robin Catling and this is Write On. Join me in my author journey as I delve into the craft of writing, bringing you tools, tips and lessons learned the hard way so you don't have to. Baiting the character hook. Can you draw readers in without baiting the character hook? Genre and plot mean nothing if there isn't a compelling character at the centre of the novel. The character hook is something I picked up from author and coach Jed Hern's modest video, How to Write Fantasy Character Arcs Better Than 99% of Writers. One section describes the character hook, in which Hern tells us to show the characteristic moment, show the character living the lie, maybe hint at the ghost, show the character chasing their want, and establish rooting interest. Rooting for the home team. Establish rooting interest is a technique advanced by a lot of writing coaches, so no surprise here. Hern pays particular interest to rooting interest. He calls this "Why Should We Care About the Character?" He outlines 5 ways to establish rooting interest and make readers care about the character. The more of these factors you can apply, the more the reader is likely to care. They are sympathy, skill, personality, progress, worthy cause. There are echoes of the 3 scales of character, which Hern picked up from Sanderson's online course. Likeability is sympathy, proactivity is progression, competence is skill. Hern explicitly adds personality and worthy cause to these for his take on rooting interest. Let's take a look at applying these. A classic hook. Guess which character I'm using to test Hern's lesson. Lizzie Bennet. Yes, collect a sticker. Show the characteristic moment. Lizzie sends sparks flying from her very first dialogue with Sister Jane. Show the character living the lie. Lizzie leaps to snap judgments and prejudice against people. She expects nothing of the Netherfield tenants and friends. Maybe hint at the ghost. Lizzie feels the weight of the Longbourn covenant and the expectation that she must marry to save the family home. Character chases their want. Lizzie has a modern outlook and values her independence. No transactional marriages for her. Establish rooting interest. Sympathy. Lizzie is the rebel, the underdog who resists society's demands to conform. Skill. Her intelligence and independent spirit are evident from the first page. Personality. We learn how sparky and witty she is from the first dialogue. Progression. Her intelligence and insight hints at her capacity to change through the course of the story. Worthy cause. She desperately wants to find a way out of the Longbourn covenant, if only that didn't involve a loveless but advantageous marriage. She has 2 competing causes: save the family and save herself. My example. From The Ghost and the Vipers, how do I bait the character hook with Jovanka? Show the characteristic moment. Her second sight kicks in from page 1. She knows she has a fight coming with the Vipers. Before that, there's a battle with the Reavers coming. It's unavoidable. She's prepared for it. She won't walk away. It sets the tone for her character for the rest of the book. Show the character living the lie. Jovanka is fully engaged with the visions in her second sight. She believes her future is fixed and certain. That's the lie. Maybe hint at the ghost. Despite the ghost of the title, the metaphorical ghost of her past is her father, a commander in the Imperial Army and a hated figure. The character chases their want. The twist for my book is there is actually a character called the Ghost who she's looking for. Always there in her second sight, he's part of the future she's walking toward. Putting down roots. Arriving at rooting interest, this is where I try to hit all the angles early. Sympathy. Jovanka is clearly the underdog. She's persecuted and pursued. We know from the flash forward in the opening scene that she's going to fight and not give in. Skill. In the fight with the Reavers, she's clearly a skilled fighter, with or without her sight. Personality. Jovanka is spiky and determined. She doesn't take any BS from the military veteran who's her guide and bodyguard. But she is also young and vulnerable. She beats herself up with self-doubt and recrimination. Progression. Her vision in the first chapter hints at the battle to come and the stand she's going to take. Worthy cause. Jo is now part of the rebellion. She defies a vengeful emperor and resists the malice and spite of Radek and his Vipers. Reel them in. Hearn's take on the character Hook is a useful checklist of sorts. It's more detailed than Sanderson's 3 scales of character, but does that make it any better? As always, the value comes in the execution. Even if you know the answers to all the questions, you still have to write those into the character. That's all for this time. Thanks for stopping by. You can like and subscribe to the channel, or go to robincatling.com to check out the blog.